What's up, everybody? Playing the drums on my counter in my kitchen. I meant to have some music going and I forgot to put it on. Hi, Ashley. You're the first one on. Hi, Ellen. Carmencita. Lisa. Hi, Coco. Dwayne. Carmen, I'm teaching Friday morning. You coming? Joey, you weren't the first. Ashley beat you on. Sorry. Hi, Lacey. For those of you that can come Friday morning, I am working in the studio. I will be teaching class. So I expect to see you, Carmen, Joey. Oh, you'll have the girls. You can't come. I'm officially Mrs. Puglisi. How's that sound? I don't know why I'm acting like this and dancing. Carmen, I need some dance lessons. I was going to have music when y'all came on, and I was going to be dancing. What's up, Lisa? I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about every week, but really doing this life assessment myself was very interesting to me. And here I thought that I kind of was in tune with my life, and you're never finished with your journey. It's never complete, but I kind of thought I was on top of it. And when I did this assessment, I was like, wow, I got some work to do. So how many of you have ever, hey, Cassie, hi, Stacy and Angie. Let me say hi, everybody first. Good, I'm glad. Hi, Courtney. What's up, Dee Dee girl? Sounds like music to dance to, Stacy. And I lost my train of thought. How many of you have ever done an assessment of your life, like the different categories of your life? Give me like a thumbs up or a comment so I can see who's ever done this. Because I think a lot of people have never even really categorized their life and assessed it and really measured how satisfied am I with this part of my life. So I wanted to walk through that with you tonight. Obviously, if you have pen and paper, it'd be great. You can do it with me, but I'll show you what I did. And if you want to go back and do it in more detail yourself, then you can do it after the fact. But otherwise, my workshop, I'm going to dive into this even deeper and in a much more visual way too. So I'm really excited about that. But first, I want to just start with a little confession, like I try to when something really happens in my life. And you guys hear me preach all the time about self-awareness, and it's so important, you guys. And I had something happen Monday that was super emotional, incredibly difficult for me, very painful. And even a year ago, maybe even 9 months ago, I think I would have fallen apart for days. Maybe longer. And I did, I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't hurtful. I mean, I did cry. It was a very emotional night, but I was able to rationalize it. I was able to say, okay, let me think through this. Why am I responding this way? What's triggering this emotion? I was able to kind of step outside of myself. And I don't want to go into what happened. It's personal, but maybe one day I will, because I try to share everything with you guys. You know just about my whole life. So, but I was able to step away and go, okay, think about this logically, think about it rationally, try to take the emotion that I was feeling out of it, because what was painful was triggering a lot of stuff in me, a lot of insecurity in me, a lot of fear, and that caused me to react even more so than I would have from an emotional standpoint. So being self-aware and knowing our triggers and knowing how things in our past are impacting us presently is huge, you guys. It can save you from so much pain. It can save you from your pain impacting other people in a negative way when it's not even the issue. Does that make sense? Like what happened, the pain that I was feeling, it was, I'm not gonna say it wasn't hurtful, and there was some pain that was real in it, but the majority of my reaction was from something that had nothing to do with the situation. But if I wasn't aware of that, I couldn't have separated it. Does that make sense? So that's why I so encourage people to jump on board, Hash Out with Heather, come to my workshop, find a support group, dive in your personal development, get your morning routine going, you guys. I cannot tell you how much it has changed. It has significantly changed my life. So I'm speaking to you from experience. All right, life assessment. I'm so professional that I have my little girls, my new little girls, well, they're my step little girls because they have an amazing mom, but I'm using their easel. So see how professional I am? We're working on stepping things up a little bit, but right now I have a poster board and an easel. And on the back of my poster board, it was kind of funny. I found this laying around the house. And I don't know, it was a couple years ago. I'm trying to think who all was on here. They made me this poster, happy birthday, and it's from so many of you members. Like Mo is on here, Michelle Irwin's on here, Heather Tatum's on here. And you all wrote me these sweet little notes. Anna's on here, Keisha's on here, Christy. And I found this today, and it was so fun to read. Renee wrote a little note. Elizabeth Sullivan wrote a note. Do you know how sweet? I've kept it, you guys. I think this was from 2 years ago. I wish it was dated. But, oh, Audra wrote me a note, and I found it today, and I almost started crying because it was so sweet. Kindness, like, continues to surprise me, and it shouldn't. But, you know, kindness outside of the ordinary, I should say. Anyway, so that's my poster board. And so on the back is my life assessment. And this is very basic, and I would tell you, let me ask you a couple things first. Like, what made me think about this assessment, and I was doing a lot of reading up on it, and I thought, you know, I don't want to get to the end of my life and say, I wish I would have. I don't want to get to my life and say, what did I really do with my life? I mean, obviously I'm a mother to 2 amazing boys, and I have 2 little step girls who are amazing. But for so much of my life, I'm 48. So much of my life, it has been me reacting and has not been strategic. It has not been intentional. It's been responding, reacting, and going through the motions. And I don't want that to be my life. I want it to be, you know, we still have to react. Things come up. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not, you know, I understand that, believe me, more than anybody. But we can be strategic. We can say, what is important to me? What are my priorities? What are my values? And am I giving those things the time that they need, that they deserve, if they're that important to me, right? So I believe we all, and listen to me, let me get close. I hate this glare on my glasses. I've got to get that surgery. We all deserve to live a life that is successful. And that means different things to different people. And you cannot compare yourself. Comparison will rob you of your joy and your fulfillment. But we all, no matter what our circumstance, no matter what our background, no matter what your financial situation is, we all deserve to succeed in our lives. It might be that you want to be the best damn mother ever. It might be that you want to own your own business. It might be that you want to be Lacey. I know you're an amazing teacher. And the way I've heard you talk, I mean, that is such a special profession that gets very little acknowledgement. But we all can be successful. And I said to Dee Dee, I think I might have said it on here, but I've never allowed myself to dream big, ever. I thought about it as a little girl and had these, you know, your little fairy tales when you're little. But whenever I started to dream big, whenever I started to think about things I wanted, that Sabotage Susie came out like that. It was like, please, really? It's not gonna happen to you. You don't have the resources. You don't have the ability. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. All these things. And until recently, until I spent the time and put the hard work in, have I ever, and I still get fear when I say the things I say to you guys about how I want my new dream, my new passion to make such a massive impact on people because of because I know how it feels. Every time I say it to you guys, I get, my heart races. So it's still difficult, but I finally believe it. We can all live the life we want, but you've got to put in the work. Okay, so I want to start with assessing our lives in the different categories, and I'm going to go through what I put up there, and I can get even more detailed, but I didn't want to get too busy. But in order to, first we're going to assess it because we need to know where we are now in order to know where we want to be in the different sections and areas of our life, right? So we have to be honest with ourselves and super vulnerable to figure out where we are now in order to know where we're going to go. And it comes down to how important is it to you? What is your desire for this area of your life or for this dream? Or what's your passion around it? You have to have the desire or forget it. right? And the desire, your why, has to be bigger than what? Your excuses, right? So it has to be bigger than your excuses. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Mo. Oh, man, I'm so excited to see you on here. Okay, so it comes down to desire and passion, clarity, and that's something that I have not had. And even doing this exercise with myself the past couple of days, I'm like, wow, I've got to work on my clarity, because how can we get there if we don't know the path? If we don't even know what that is, let alone how to get there, what the path is to get there. So you have to be very clear with yourself on what you want. Super important. Discipline, because once you know what you want, now you have to commit to getting it. And what does that look like? What does that discipline look like on a daily basis? You have to stay motivated. And then hear me this, and this has been my problem. I go to these, I've been to so many workshops, you guys, and I've listened to so many podcasts, and I get so fired up, and I learn something from all of them, and I get super excited, and I leave and life happens, and then it all falls off. I fall off the rails, forget it, it's all gone, because now I'm dealing with life, right? Until we learn, and I'm still learning, how to self-motivate, we're going to be on this roller coaster of starting and stopping, starting and stopping. It's super important to have accountability and have a support like this group and other groups where you do feel uplifted and you do feel alive and you do feel encouraged. You have to have that. You have to have that, period. But we've got to find that why in us that helps us stay motivated. Because when it comes down to it, when we're alone in our house by ourselves with our 2 children, 4 children, or no children, but we're still by ourselves in that pantry right here of temptation is there, we have to be the one to control that, right? So I really want to help us all really discover our why, so that it always trumps our excuses, okay? So it also comes down to commitment, which is my workshop, Getting Committed. What stands in the way of us being committed to ourselves and our goals and the life we want to live? Why do we set commitments to other people but not to ourselves? Why do we start and stop? What is standing in our way? So my workshop on February 10th, we're going to really dig into a lot of this in our past and how it influences our present, and how can we start to explore and get curious about the life that we want. And again, it's coupled with having great support, the right support, you guys, not the toxic support, okay? The right support. That's what this group's all about. And guidance, someone, a coach, or me with Hashtag with Heather, or each other, that can give you the right guidance, not the right guidance, you guys. People give us advice all the time. Not always. Make sure you know who you're hearing it from and that there's respect and they've done it and it comes from a very credible place, okay? All right, so let me ask you a couple questions first. And I want you guys to answer me, all right? Hi, Anna. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Are you being intentional with your life? Some people answer me. Really intentional with every aspect of your life. Do you have a plan? Do you have a strategy? Do you get up in the morning and go, here's my, and I don't mean go to work, go work out. I mean, who I want to be and here's my intention. If you do that, well, if you do or don't, say yes or no for me. What would you call toxic support? Friends that get you off course. People that aren't living a life that you respect. And I don't mean that we shouldn't help people that, I'm sorry, I'm answering Cindy's question, you guys. I'm not saying we don't help people, so don't take it that way. But, we can have people in our lives that will say, oh my God, you're getting too skinny. Sometimes that's true. A lot of times they're saying that because they don't want you to look better than them. They eat out all the time. They drink too much. They think personal development's a waste of time. That's the people that you walk away from and you're like, oh my God, that killed me. They're exhausting. They're so draining. Does that make sense? So you need to have people, and again, people that you trust in your lives. You're going to have ups and downs. Listen, you guys know my story, and the friends in my life rose to the occasion. So I don't mean helping you through a bad situation. I mean people that constantly take you off course, or you're allowing them to, honestly. But you need people around you that you can filter into, feed into, that also feed into you, that are living a life that you want to live, or that you are living. Maybe you're that person for them. Okay, does that make sense, Cindy? Okay, yeah. So I think so many of us, I know for me, hey Kelly, that I go in and out. I have intention, and then life gets in my way, and I let it. Then I have intention, then life gets in my way, and I let it. And my goal for myself is to maintain a more disciplined life more consistently, knowing that life's going to throw things at me. But I want my why to be so much bigger than my excuses. That 80% of the time, I'm living the life that I want with intention, so I can always be better. Okay, and are you in balance? Do you know what that means? Like, I think women especially, Dwayne can comment if he wants, but women especially, I think we have a really hard time when one part of our life is out of balance and how it impacts the rest of our lives. Yes, anybody out there agree? I know for me, especially if I'm physically not moving my body and working out, without a doubt, does it impact my mental, my emotions. It impacts my relationship with Joey, with my kids. When I do not exercise, every part of my life is impacted in a negative way. I'm a firm believer, and you'll see that in a minute, that we have to move our body because it also moves our mind. All right, so that's when we really have to start prioritizing these parts of our lives. It was hard for me, and I'll talk about that in a second, to really prioritize them, because I felt like when I put one in front of the other, I was not giving enough value to another one. But I know for me physically, I have to move my body to be better in every other category. So I know, like I said, a lot of women, especially when one part of our life is out of balance, everything starts to get out of balance. Okay, so that's why I think it's important for us to take the time, once or twice a year, to really assess where we are in our lives, and then make adjustments to make sure that we are making decisions that are in line with our values. Making decisions that are in line with our values. I'm wanting to jump ahead so bad because I got so excited about this. So I want you guys, you can do this on your own, but I want you, there's so many tools out there. I can send some to you if you want. I want us to talk about, I hope you can see this. Tell me if you can't. I can try to move it closer. I know it's kind of far. We need a professional studio. Okay, so life assessment. So I wrote, we all will have probably some differences in our categories, but I think a lot of them will be the same, okay? So you can first decide what is important to you. What areas of your life do you want to assess, okay? And don't ignore the ones that you're not doing well in. Don't do that. That's not, you have to be super honest with yourself. Nobody's watching. I'm sharing it with you guys, see? Look at this. Hey, Elizabeth. Hi, Tim. So these might work for you, and I could also get more detailed, but I didn't want to get too busy and lose track. So I put spirituality, your faith, whatever that faith is to you. For me, it's God, but whatever that is for you, it may just be spirituality. Might be for you your impact in connection with others. That might be your spirituality. Relationships. This is a big one. I had to break it down. I cannot just assess relationships. For me, it's with your spouse. It's with Joey. It's with my kids, now his kids, our kids. When I say family, I mean like extended. My dad and my stepmom and my sisters and my brothers and my aunts and my uncle, the people that are really important to me, my cousins, and then friends. I mean, those are like the categories to me, of important relationships, right? And then physical health, emotional, mental health, the mind, guys, this is what this is all about, the mindset. Personal growth, your purpose, career, profession, job, education, if you're a student, and then, your financial life, your finances, and that's another category. And again, there's some more. We could go into fun and recreation could be a category, because we need to have fun in our lives. So we will in my workshop get a little bit deeper than this, okay? So on this side, I said, how I try to prioritize these. I did prioritize these. And this side, I ranked 1 to 5, 1 being not satisfied at all or very little, and 5 being satisfied, very satisfied. Okay, so let's talk about this first. Spirituality, 1 to 5, it's a 1. This is how so satisfaction means how much time am I spending on it? How do I feel like I'm really doing a good job of that in my life? I'm embarrassed to say, I think spirituality for me is a 1. Relationships with my spouse, with Joey. believe it or not, I know we just got married and I'm very hard on myself. I put it at a 3.5. Now you might say, well, why? Heather, you just got married. Hi, Teresa. Because you know what? He is obviously super important to me. And he's going to disagree with me. I know he's going to write something here in a second, but I could do more to show him how important he is to me, even though we're just married. Because he's so good to me. He surprises me and says things to me and does things for me all the time. And I think I already take it for granted. And I could do more there to really talk to him in his love language. And we're gonna go over that. I'm gonna do a whole hash out with Heather on love languages. If you haven't read that book, it's Gary Zukav. It's really, really good. So we'll do a whole hash out on that. And we can maybe do a little book club on that too. Happy birthday, Carol. Oh, Joey, it's Joey's sister's birthday today, who is in heaven. But happy birthday to her. Okay, so I put 3.5 for my satisfaction with my relationship with Joey. And again, that's my side of it, not his. My kids, I'm embarrassed to say, I put at 2.5. Because that doesn't, listen, you guys, you have to be honest here. It's not because they're not important to me. It's not what I'm saying. This side is, how good of a job am I doing? And I know that I'm being hard on myself. I'm trying to be real. I know that I'm a good mother. That doesn't mean I'm not a good mom. But if they're, when we'll get into values in a second, being more specific, are my actions and my time reflecting how important that is? I can say that, and I love them, that they're my life. That doesn't mean that I'm doing what I need to be doing. It doesn't mean that my decisions align with that. Yes? Makes sense? Family. This is my extended family. I'm a 2. I do a very poor job of keeping up with I don't call my dad and my stepmom enough. I don't call my sisters and brother enough. And my excuse is, life is busy. And it is busy. We're all busy, but they're important to me. I need to be intentional about when am I going to, you know what? There's no shame, which I'm learning, to put it on my freaking calendar and say, on Tuesday at 2:00, I'm calling my dad. You know what I mean? And it feels ridiculous, but I need to do that. My life, I have 3 businesses and a new husband and new step little girls, my own boys, my own personal development, my own stuff. Everything in my life I'm learning has to be scheduled. And it sounds so structured and formal, but you know what? It's not getting done if I don't. Okay, physical health. I think I'm doing good with that. I should. I own kickboxing studios. If I'm not doing good with my physical health, then that's bad. So I think I do really good with that. Even when I'm injured, I find other ways to work my body, move my body. I understand the importance of it and how it domino and ripples into every other part of my life if I neglect it. But I also learned, you guys, that when we were in Jamaica on our honeymoon, we walked some, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, we did not work out. We went for a little run one day. Today I hurt my back and threw my back out. Thanks, Joey. Pretty sure it was your fault because you made me run that day. Hey, Liz. But we didn't work out. You know why? And it's okay. I don't have guilt because we relaxed. But I don't like to go into a gym and jump on a treadmill. I need structure. I like classes. I like someone tell me what to do and I will do it. I like community and connection. I love coming to my studio and seeing you guys. Today I got to see so many of you, Cindy and Stacy. I love seeing you guys. It lights me on fire. So I know that I need that. So I know for my physical health, I've got to be in a structured environment. It's worth every penny of the investment because it pays off. I've never been this consistent with my working out ever in my life until I bought the studio. But until I finally realized I need group structure. I need someone guiding and leading me and motivating me. Honest truth. Emotional health. Out of 5, I give it a 3.5. I've gotten so much better. I've come so far in really understanding myself. You guys know how I feel about personal growth. I still have a ways to go. I still beat myself up all the time. I still am super hard on myself. I catch myself thinking negatively. Sabotage Susie comes out almost daily. And, that's always going to be a journey that I'm on. And I get that. But I think I can spend a little bit more time on it and be more intentional about saying 3 affirmations every day. Is anybody still doing that? That was something that I challenged you guys to do months ago. I know that I quit doing it. It sounds silly to affirm yourself. I'm telling you guys, we have to replace that. For me, I mean, I'm 48. So how many years of negative self-talk? How many years of that have I been feeding myself that? And I think in 2 weeks, I'm going to erase all that. So we have to continue to be disciplined and affirming ourselves and loving ourselves and saying things no matter how silly you feel. So I got some work to do on that too. Personal growth, finding purpose in your life. I'm a 4 out of 5. I think I've been doing a pretty good job. And starting doing this Hash Out with Heather has made me even more intentional. I can't get on here and talk to you guys if I'm not doing it. It's crazy how when you start to train somebody else or coach somebody else or do something like this, that you hold yourself accountable, which works for me, which is what I need. So I still have some room there. I mean, I do the morning routine almost every day. I can be much better about it. And I want to be, my day is so much more successful and productive when I get up in the morning early and take that time for myself and read and listen to podcasts, study, meditate, journal. Okay, I still have some room there some things I want to change. My career, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm so proud of myself. I can say that. My Nashville studio was #1 for all of last year, thanks to that team and Christy who leads it. And my Bartlett studio in Memphis under Kendall's direction, is starting to really take off. And so I'm super proud of my career and profession from that standpoint. I've never owned a business before I did these. And I am proud of myself. But this Hash Out with Heather, you guys know my dream with it. I really want to change people's lives. My life has been changed, and I feel so grateful and blessed for getting to live this life. It's still crazy that, I don't know, it still blows me away. And I have a long way to go. I mean, I still have big, big dreams. So that's why I gave it a 3. All right, so on this side, you guys, so, write down your categories. And on this side, I said, okay, I want to prioritize them. This was hard for me because I wanted them all to be the same. And they just can't. So I put spirituality as my #1. And yet I gave it a 1 out of satisfaction. And I met Danielle through a Bible study that I hosted years ago. I know y'all heard me tell the story. And that decision, when that time in my life and before that, I was so much more in balance. For me, again, whatever that means for you, but for me, my spirituality is incredibly important. It's still as equally as important today as it was 2 years ago, but I'm not giving it the attention it deserves, because I know when I have God as my center, I can handle anything that comes at me. And I've lost that. You have to be in your spirituality, pretty much on a daily basis for it to really be what you go to when you need something or when you don't need something. God is so good. So I have let that go in my life. And I'm ashamed to say it, but it's the truth. I had to be honest with myself here. So guess what now? When I did this, I thought, oh my God, Heather, all right, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that's something I'm going to work on. I need that back in my life. It's important to me. It's #1, you guys, #1 for me. And yet it gets the least amount of my attention. I got to change that. Relationships. I just rank this as a whole. Now, this was hard. I put it #3. Why isn't it #2? Why isn't Joey and my kids #2? Let me tell you why. Because I wanted to put them 1, and I had to struggle with what makes me a better wife, what makes me a better mother is when I put all these together: physical health, emotional health, and personal growth. When I do those well, I am so much better at relationships in all of those categories. That's why I have to put that ahead. This is where all of us, but especially women, feel so selfish. How many of you, and men too, put your spouse first, your kids first? How many do that? Because especially women, we're kind of we're raised to take care of people, right? We're raised to take care of our siblings, take care of our husbands, take care of our children. Then our parent, my mom passed away. Then I was her caregiver. We're kind of made that way to take care of people. So the thought of taking care of ourselves first is like, whoa, right? That's right, Lacey. You can't pour into other people until you pour into yourself. We've got to get rid of the guilt around taking care of ourselves, because I've lived it the other way, and I'm so much better, and I have a long way to go. I fail every day still, but until we understand, listen, taking care of yourself, you guys, doesn't mean spas, and it can mean spas. It doesn't mean, being with your friends and going to get your massages and get your nails done. That's not what I mean. Those things are fine. What I mean is spending the time on yourself to exercise your body, because when you move your body, you're better mentally. You have more clarity. You have more energy. You're just better all around. How many of you leave a workout and feel better? How many of you leave a workout and don't feel better? Come on, right? We all leave a workout and we feel better. So we have to understand that we are better. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. To understand your triggers, to understand why you react certain ways, to understand how your past is impacting your present and your relationships because of feeling abandoned, a divorce when you were a child, maybe you were even something worse, physically or verbally abused. If we don't understand how that, even if you think you guys have tucked it away, oh, I dealt with that, it's gone. Did you really? Ask yourself if you really have dealt with that. Because so many times, things from our past are triggering an emotion and a reaction that's negatively impacting our present. So personal development, personal growth, spending time with yourself, learning to love yourself is hard work, but nothing worth having comes easy. And it will change the relationships in your life, your career today, if you understand your past and how it's impacting you. You have to do the work to understand that, and you cannot ignore it. It does not go away, you guys. It comes out subconsciously. It does not go away. So if you think you've tucked it away, really take a good look and make sure that you have. And a good way to do that is to say, when you start to, like when something happens with your boyfriend or with your wife or husband, or even your kids, in my case recently, when I felt myself react and get super emotional or super angry, whatever the case is, stop for a second and go, where is this coming from? What am I really feeling right now? Because, is it anger at the person, or is it fear that I'm going to lose them? Fear that they don't love me? Fear, is it pulling up insecurities that make you react? Really understand where your reaction, where your emotion is coming from. And that comes from spending time with yourself and understanding yourself. And I can give you all kinds of resources, you guys. Obviously therapy is huge, but there's so many books and podcasts to read that are hard to read. But if you can be disciplined enough to do it on your own, they will start to uncover a lot of stuff in your life. And it's hard, but it's necessary to be fulfilled and live a life of joy now. It's necessary, okay? I'm so glad, Ellen. I'm reading the comments. All right, so, and the question I had to ask myself is, why am I ranking these this way? Or why am I only at a satisfaction for spirituality? Why am I a 1 out of 5? So you have to then say, okay, why? Why am I only a 2.5 with my kids? Okay, so we have to know, once you rank it, how satisfied you are, now you have to dig a little bit deeper and go, well, where am I falling short, and why am I falling short? Okay, and then I hope you guys do these exercises, because they were super powerful for me. So then, I don't know if you can see those, we have to reflect. Okay, we have to look back. So I haven't done this completely yet, but I'm going to, and I want you to do it too. Look and say, where was my time spent? So now that I know how satisfied I was, where was my time spent? Did my decisions align with what's important to me? Okay? How much time did you waste? Pull out your calendars, whether it's on your phone. I still use paper. I tried the phone thing, didn't work for me. So I use a calendar. I went through the last 6 months, but you can really do the whole year, would be even better. And look and see where you spent your time. And I would tell you, for this year, on your planners, put everything on there. Don't just put doctor's appointment, Put when you work out. Put when you are going somewhere with your kids. Put everything you can on there so you can really analyze it better at the end of this year. Because when you really look back at your calendar and see where you spent your time, I think you're going to surprise yourself at the decisions that you've made that don't align with what's important to you. And it doesn't mean that they were bad, because listen, sometimes I think Brendon Burchard said this, sometimes opportunities come in the way of distractions, or they are distractions. So it's like when someone asks you something to do something, or to run an event or charity, or go out with certain friends, say to yourself, okay, what's my intention for this week, for this month? What's important to me? Does doing this activity, does saying yes to this align with what I've said is important to me and what my goals are for now? And sometimes we have to say no, even if it's a good thing to do. I'm not, maybe it's a great thing to do, but it's not aligning with what my goals are and values are for right now. Okay, so you need to look through your calendar. You need to look at think about your last 3 months, 6 months, and really say, where's my time gone? I would challenge you to even look at your social media time. I mean, we're on social media right now, but hopefully this is healthy social media. How much time are you going through, and where do you get distracted? And how much of that time are you comparing yourself to somebody that you're looking at and going, oh, she's got it all. God, she looks great in that. Oh my God, she's so fit. How much I like some TV. I don't watch a ton, and I like Netflix. My son is Netflix king, but I started watching a series with him called Suits. And all of a sudden we'd watch like 4 episodes. I'm like, oh my God, I just spent, it's so easy to get lost in that. And it's okay if you intend it. You said, okay, you know what? It's Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to binge watch this for the next 4 hours. Okay, you plan that. This is time with your son or with your spouse. Okay, that's fine. But how much time have you, like me, who all of a sudden went, oh my God, I just watched 4 episodes. And when I really thought about and looked at how much I spend time reading emails when I don't, because they come through and they tag me on my computer, and so I jump on, or I get a Facebook notification and I jump on, that all adds up. And so now I've just spent a lot of time, wasted time, that I'm not spending doing something that's important to me. So it's hard to do, but I would tell you to analyze where you spend your time. I think you'll surprise yourself. Okay, I put on my glasses now because I can't see again. All right, so let's talk about values. Let me get out my handy dandy whiteboard. I know, so professional up in here, right? All right. I just asked this, you guys. I know there's a glare on it, so just listen to me. Do your decisions line up with your values? So the first thing you have to ask is, what are your values? A lot of them should come from what you put here, okay? But what I want you to do when you talk about your values, I want you to be more specific. If I'm saying my relationship with Joey is important to me, I need to be more specific. So I want to be in a happy, what I want to call real, which we could dive into that, intentional relationship with Joey. He and I are, we really want to keep our romance alive. We want to continue to be best friends. We want to keep the respect we have for each other. We want to continue, we laugh so much. We don't want to lose sight of that. So that's a big value of mine. Okay, so now I say, are the decisions I'm making aligning with that? And then one for my kids, my value is I want to be a good role model for them. I'm not going to be perfect, and I have to be okay with that. And that's part of teaching them too, because they're not perfect either. But I want to make decisions that will help them live their best life one day, right? So that comes by my actions, not by just my words. So are the things I'm doing aligning with me being a good role model for my kids? My faith, I said that was number one. Yet I spend hardly any time on it. I mean, I pray and I think about God. I've been very lax about going to church, if I'm honest. And I haven't done a Bible study since when I did with Danielle. Well, that's not true. I did Paige Brown's Bible study. That was fantastic. I need to make a change there. It's important to me. But that means me having an intimate relationship with God. That's what my value is. My health, physical and emotional best self. And that's vague, and that's not okay, but that's for a value, that's okay. But then my action items, my goals underneath that will be much more detailed. Okay, so then my career and passion, that is to positively impact in a massive way. So, I dipped my toe in it when I started my studios, and I could really see how We were impacting people's lives by giving them a place that was safe to come and explore kickboxing, explore physical movement of their body, some of which have never moved their body before. And I got to see the impact it was having physically and mentally, and confidence and energy. And it just, I always knew that I loved and wanted to help people, because for so long in my life, I didn't feel love, self-imposed. I had a lot of love in my life. That's something that the narrative I was telling myself. I was so insecure, you guys, so insecure. And all I wanted was someone to love me, even though I had it. It doesn't matter. It's what you think, right? So, I mean, I want everyone to feel worthy and loved. And that's kind of my mission. So when I say impact people in a massive way, everyone walks through my doors at kickboxing studios, and now everyone I come in interaction with in my life, I want to leave them, and I hope they feel better. They feel better about it. I hope they felt my love for them in a real way. Okay, so that's an important value to me. And then financially, I want to provide for my family. I mean, I have to, but it gives, you know, I'm proud to do that. And I want my kids to go to the college of their choice, which may or may not happen. You know, but I want to be able to take a vacation with Joey, and I love contributing financially too. You know, not for a long time in my life, I didn't contribute financially. So, and that's okay too. I mean, I was okay because I contributed in other ways. I used to be the CEO of our household, and I had a lot of pride in that, you know. So do the decisions you're making line up with your values? You need to analyze your life, you guys, to know. Jeannie, Jeannie just joined. Jeannie's like my second mom. My mom's passed away, I think most of y'all know, and I clicked with Jeannie the first time she took class. I was there for her very first class, and I just fell in love with her. And talk about energy. I know I'm diverting, but Jeannie, the minute I met you, I loved you. And thank you, Lacey. She just said, Heather, you already have had a massive impact on mine. You don't even know what hearing that does to me. I could start crying. But you guys, we have to, I want us all, I just did it, but I want to do it some more. I want us to start here. This is a journey, but I want you to start by saying, what are the areas of my life that are important? And write them down, prioritize them, then really assess them, okay? Really say how satisfied I am, 1 to 5. And then get your values more specific. If you know, if spirituality is in there, if relationship with your husband, Lacey, you know, relationship with your children, then write that out a little bit more specific. Okay, so let's get it a little bit more detailed than just relationships or just faith. So that then I want you to analyze your time. I want you to take 30 minutes or an hour to really look. If you don't have a calendar, I want you to think through, literally go back to like July and August and think through what you've said yes to, where you've spent your time, and how much of that aligned with your values. I think you're going to be surprised at how many things we say yes to. Again, they aren't bad things, but they're not in line with our values. And we have to learn to say no to those things, or life's going to pass us by. All right, so I want you to do that, and then I'm going to build on this. And then we're going to set goals from that. And listen, you guys, you can't work on, hang on. So I need an assistant. Dee Dee, you should start being here with me. You can be like my Vanna White, although you're much prettier and much, I shouldn't say better, but better than her. Joey could be my Vanna White. Now that I know like how satisfied I am in these areas, I can't say, okay, I'm going to work on all of them. That I've done that before. It does not work. So I have to decide. We can be all things. I think Oprah or Maria Shriver said this. We can be all things, just not always at the same time. And also, so many of these ripple effect, like I said before, into the others. So I know my spirituality and me being physically and emotionally healthy make me better at other things, my career, my relationships. So I need to get those right first. That's why when you guys say, I don't know where to start with a morning routine. Don't tell me you're not a morning person. I wasn't either. Unless you have some job that doesn't allow you to do it. I know some of you are nurses, and Elizabeth, sometimes she just can't. Otherwise, get up an hour, 45 minutes earlier. Start there. You can do it. Otherwise, take an hour or 45 minutes at night. But I find that when we do it at night, too many things get in our way and distract us, kids, life, and all of a sudden that's the last thing, and we go to sleep. Whatever it is, I know for me, and I know for many, many people, doing it in the morning sets a tone for your day, gives you intention, which domino effects into other things, okay? So when you're looking at, okay, what am I gonna focus on? Think about that too. You can't start at your career if you're mentally a mess. I can't start my relationship with Joey if I'm falling apart emotionally, if I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. And I still don't know some things, but I know enough I couldn't have gotten married to him, and vice versa if I didn't understand myself and what's triggering things and what happened in my last marriage. And there's ownership in that. We should always be learning from our successes, from our failures. That's how we get better and live better lives. So once you kind of do this assessment, once you prioritize it, once you see where you have holes, then let's start setting goals into what we're going to focus on first. Focus on one thing, master it. A lot of this, you guys, is bad habits. And we're going to talk about that too. We got to replace our bad habits with healthy habits. And it's just a matter of doing it for a while, and then it'll happen. And I like to focus on, instead of removing things, replacing things. It just feels better too, right? And I think our brain acknowledges that easier. So we have a tendency as humans, as you guys know, to make decisions, go to things that are easy, that are comfortable. Our brain does not like change, does not like fear, and does not like to be uncomfortable. And it will do all it can to divert us from anything that feels uncomfortable. The most growth I've had in my life has come when I was uncomfortable, when I was downright scared to death. The most growth. I am living my dream. I'm living my passion. I have the best husband. My life is not perfect. I had a mess the other night, so believe me, it's a roller coaster. But I'm in such a great place because I've done the work, because I've gotten uncomfortable. You've got to do it, you guys. You will not be sorry, even when it's super, super hard. You still won't be sorry. You'll be patient through it, but that's when the growth happens. Okay, right? So step into your fear, you guys. Step into your fear. That's what courage is. Fear doesn't go away. Courage is stepping through it, into it. Bring it on, okay? As I said earlier, nothing that's worth having your best life is you have to do the work. We all want the easy fix, right? We pay a lot of money for the easy fix, but we have to work at it, and that's where the joy comes from once you're through it. Okay, prepare yourself, for the ups and downs. They're going to happen. And I was just telling Dee Dee this. As I get closer and closer to really feeling like my dream is attainable, that I'm getting closer to it, I know that I'm going to be attacked more. And I have to just get tougher and be prepared for that, so that when it happens, I'm not caught off guard. Right? Does that make sense? So I spend a little bit of time in the mornings kind of thinking through that too, and listen to podcasts about people that are ahead of me on their journey and things that have happened to them. So I'm prepared. Doesn't mean that I might not have to still react quickly, but thinking through your life and your day, which is part of what you can do in the morning when you set your intention, is what could possibly happen today to throw me off course. Be ready for it. So you have a plan of attack. So when it happens, you're ready to respond. When that negative thought comes in, you have a positive one. When sabotage Susie takes over, you shut her down. You got to be ready for those things, which takes work. The last day to sign up my workshop at the price of $129 is tomorrow. So if you haven't signed up, you guys, it's going to be good stuff. Do it now. If finances are a problem, message me. I will work out a deal with you. We'll do a payment plan, okay? Do not let that stand in the way of living your best life. You have to invest in yourself, and that means financially too. And I take that very, very seriously. Very seriously. We won't regret it. So don't let that be the reason you can't come. If you can come February 10th, it's from 3 to 6 in the afternoon, message me. Let's figure it out, okay? Don't let money be the reason you don't come. That would be such a waste and very unfortunate. Okay, giveaway. Unless I miss something, unless Lacey, I need you to teach us did you want to know how do you tag 99 people that quickly? I need to know how you did that. But Lacey, if I'm wrong, I'll do another bag, but I think Lacey was the one that tagged the most. Does anybody know if I'm right? So many comments. Okay, well, I think it was her. So, but somebody else just let me know. Lacey, you still get this. So you get the bag. If you don't already have it, little drawstring bag. If you have any of these, Lacey, you get the credit, okay? So you can save it and use it on something else. But you probably have all this because Lacey has everything. But we got a little water bottle. I love Kickboxing water bottle. We have some white wraps. If you have white wraps, you can change those to something else. We have a tank top. I'm almost positive you probably have this tank top. But if you don't, we'll get it for you. If this isn't your size, you can get your size Live, Love, Kickbox. And got you a little keychain. And last, you get a case of your choice of our drinks. Of the Heat or the Bang or the Celsius. If you like any of those, let me know and we'll get that ordered for you. All right, if you have all of these things, Lacey, because you are such a huge supporter of our studio and me and our team, that this will all be a credit for you. You can keep the bag and we'll add up the value of all this and you'll have that credit. So when something comes in that you want, you have a credit there. Okay, so thanks for tagging people. Continue to share this page, and my videos are all titled. So if you have someone that's going through something in your life and you want to share one of my videos, you should be able to easily do that. And we're getting ready to put it all on YouTube as well, in case you have someone in your life that doesn't have Facebook. But thanks, guys. Sign up for my workshop. Tomorrow's the last day at 1:29. We still have some spots available. If you get a group together, contact me too. We're doing group specials, okay? So there'll be a discount for people that come in your group as well. Remember, when you refer people, if you bring them with you, you get an extra raffle ticket, and we have those 3 prizes that I posted about. I think it was a week of fresh meal plan. I can't remember the other 2 words. Dee Dee might know on here, but I posted about it. There was 3 prizes. We're gonna do 3 drawings for 3 lucky women that will win. And members that sign up, remember, you get a free month added onto your membership. You can be with me forever. Have a great Wednesday, great rest of your week. Continue to share on here and tag people. Let's grow this group and really learn, not learn, but help each other grow and live our best lives. And we need support and accountability. We need other warriors, right? All right, have a great Wednesday. Have a great week. Love you guys. I'll see you later. I'll be back on before next Wednesday, for sure. Now that I just love being on live. Maybe I'll bring Joey back on too. All right, peace out.